Hey everyone, I'm Anime Caveman. Today I'm going to be reading the 15th episode of Golden Kamuy. And I gotta say, while this episode wasn't like the most intense episode of Golden Kamuy, I still gotta say this episode did a good job of demonstrating that everyone in this show has no plot armor. And to emphasize, every show in existence, every anime, every TV show, every movie, everyone's gonna have a degree of plot armor. Either someone's gonna have a lot of plot armor or someone's gonna have no plot armor. But this anime does a great job of disguising that fact, because when they were having the confrontation with Tsurumi's soldiers, you had people like Ogata get scratched and grazed a bit on the head, and if it would have been just a few inches closer, he'd be dead. And then simultaneously, I like how they showed off Hijikata's age, because when he was confronting the earless soldier, Hijikata was being outmatched. Even though he's outskilled, he was almost dead. Well, he was almost about to be killed if it wasn't for Sugimoto showing up and distracting that earless individual long enough. Not the earless individual, that was a different guy. Long enough so that that was a different soldier. Long enough so that Hijikata was able to cut that soldier's leg off and get off scot-free for the most part. That for Hijikata. So I like that. It shows that Father Time cannot be defeated. And then aside from that, I like how this episode also had Tsurumi being proactive, because for one, the previous episode built up that Tsurumi didn't want them to have a way of figuring out how to find the difference between the fake and the real skins. So that first sequence in the episode, the action sequences, they were actually justified, and it wasn't an action scene just to have a fucking action scene. It was there to advance the plot, which made it have more weight. And then additionally, I like how this episode actually had a bit of character development for Ushiyama, surprisingly. Because it was nice when him, Ogata, Sugimoto, and Asirpo were hanging out. And then it was kind of cute to see Ushiyama pick up some of the Ainu habits that Asirpo was demonstrating. Like saying things like hina hina, and chitapa when cutting a bit of the bird duck looking creature that they cut up. Like, it was nice to see those kind of habits, because it makes their relationship feel much more authentic, and it puts into perspective that if anything were to happen to Ushiyama, it would feel sad, because at this point we know enough about him to have a good grasp of how he acts, how to respond to a situation. And I like that. It gives the show much more endearing characters. And then, furthermore, it was nice to see Tanigaki have a little scene here and there with like the fortune teller lady. And then I like how it had like this little humorous scene where where Boner shows up and he wants to join them. And then when he's telling them we should have this complicated story where there should be like this incest angle, and then when you have Tanigaki respond with you're making this too complicated, I was fucking laughing. And you know what, I like that too, because now that they've introduced the kid, for one, he's pretty resourceful. Since he is an Ainu, he's not just gonna be he's not just gonna be dead weight. He's gonna know his way around forest and snow areas, and he might be able to contribute a lot to our crew. And then from a character standpoint, we should see more layers of Tanigaki's character now that he has someone that he's gonna be dead set on protecting. So that should be fucking good shit. And then aside from that, what really makes me like this scene is the pervertedness of the little boy when he's like, oh yeah, and I'll pretend that we have like a brother-sister dynamic so that I can touch your boobs whenever I want. And I was like, oh man, the boy, well, you gotta shoot your shot. And hey, he fucking made the shot. Gotta give praise to the boy. So that scene got me laughing too. So I like that. Like, what this show keeps on doing is it keeps on introducing more interesting dynamics. And that makes the show much more livelier. And then aside from that, I like how this episode even had a fake out making us think that Shirashi actually was fucking killed by Sugimoto, because I like how the anime was seemingly building up to that, where Sugimoto's like, where have I seen this man before? And then when it leads into seemingly Sugimoto figuring out that he saw the man earlier, and then Shirashi thinks he put two together, Sugimoto, and then Sugimoto starts stabbing him, but then when it was all a dream, that gave me a sign of relief. And while in majority of times a dream sequence in an anime can really, really fucking suck, that's one of the few dream sequences that was actually good. Again, showing off that Golden Kamuy, its strength lies in its writing. Where you could have mediocre animation and you could still make the episode good. So props to the anime for that. It had me tense as hell. And I like how this episode did a good job of showing off a bit of Hijikata's past too, how he was in the prison for a bit. That was nice, and it showed how he looked like when he was younger, and his companion too. And all in all, there was like a lot in this episode from a character standpoint. From an animation standpoint, this episode was pretty nice. I mean, there were maybe a few instances like when there was an action scene, there was like a black background, and it felt like the animators took a bit of shortcuts, but it really didn't look too bad, because when Hijikata was moving with the sword, his own body moved, so that was nice. And at the same time, when Agata got grazed in the face, like over here, in the later scenes, they didn't show like any kind of scratch or scar or any type of bandage to cover that up. And I felt like if the animators would have had like that kind of bandage, it would have made the episode feel a bit more grittier. But that's just a minor nitpick. This episode was still great. Oh, and Sugimoto. Can't end off the review by saying, I like how this episode explicitly finally mentions that, yes, Sugimoto's main goal is to pretty much find out information from Asiripa's father and all that kind of stuff, and to ask him questions. And I like that, because it shows you that he truly cares about Asiripa. And I like how finally the anime gives that information explicitly, because you can't get more explicit from the mouth of someone. So all in all, this episode, it really resonated with me for all these reasons. That's why I rated it an 8 out of 10. So anyways, guys, comment down your thoughts in the comment section below on your thoughts on the episode. Comment down your thoughts on your favorite dynamic in the show. Personally, my favorite dynamic continues being the Sugimoto and the Asiripa dynamic, obviously. But if I had to pick a second place, it would have to be probably starting to be the dynamic between Ushiyama and Asiripa, because those scenes are fucking adorable and sweet. Alright, well anyways, guys and gals, have a safe and great day, and I'll see you guys later if you subscribe for more videos. Bye bye.